All right. I'm going to bring you now Ogunwuji.
Ogunwumiju.
Ogunwumiji, welcome because you called me and I really want to have you by all means. So, to clarify what you want to clarify. So welcome to the program. You can give us your opinion now.
I really appreciate your good work. You're doing a very great job in terms of sensitizing our people, in terms of dissemination of information. This is fantastic, and I'll tell you of a fact that your likes, the likes of my very good friend Mazinandi Kanu, you guys are doing fantastic job. You help in so many ways to sensitize our people, the Oduduwa people. But there are some clarifications I need to make right here. One, the fact that somebody in the caliber of, Baba Ayo Adebanjo is saying, oh, you know what, we want restructuring, but I'm not opposed to your struggle. It's only trying to tell us that, okay, irrespective of whatever the people who are calling for self-determination among the Yoruba people are doing, there's a thin line between love and hate. There's a thin line in whatever statements it's making. So all this issue of restructuring and this is what Adebanjo is saying is against us. Adebanjo cannot be against us. You can't be against the majority. The majority says they want self-determination. It's very wrong for anyone to assume that the Oduduwa people are not doing enough. They're not doing anything. We're not doing enough, and we're already the 45th nation at the UNPO. We are not doing enough, and we already have a UN rapporteur for the issue about Nigeria. We're not doing enough at this point, and we still have the process of trying to get referendum through the United Nations. Yes, I know we have this issue of trying to, gather funds, in terms of bringing funds together and ensuring that we can, begin to execute our foot soldiers as regards defending our place. But everybody will be for a root shock if you think the Yoruba nation, if you think the Yoruba people do not have what it takes to execute self-defense for themselves. You'll be, I'm saying it again, I'm Ogunwumiju. I represent Ilana Omo Oodua International. I'm telling you, you will be out for a very rude shock. If the Fulani people or whoever they are, the terrorists coming to our land, think we do not have what it takes to defend ourselves, I am saying it again, they will be for a road shock. They'll be out for a road shock. The young man that spoke from Winnipeg was actually, gave me the startle. I watch the show all the time. But when he was talking about, oh no, the Yoruba people are not doing anything, he was talking out of disgust. I'm asking him, how much has he contributed towards, the security of Yoruba land? A lot of people can come, talk is cheap. A lot of people can come and say as much as what they want to say. But that is not the issue. We have things on ground. We have, mechanisms of ensuring that our people are protected. Yes, we have that. But, we still have a lot of people also who are still frolicking with the present government, who are some of the people we should call our leaders. And that is why it appears, maybe the Oduduwa people, maybe the Yoruba people cannot be trusted. That's not true. This is not the 60s. We are collaborating very, very well with our Igbo brothers. I'm saying today that wherever the Igbo people are going as regards self-determination is where the Yoruba people are going. So don't get it mixed up. We are not in any way going to be, a rod in the wheel of this, movement towards achieving self-determination. And mind you, it's not just the Yoruba people, not just the Niger Delta people, not just the Igbo people. There are quite a lot of, other people who have come together to say, no, we need self-determination. Today, there was a letter coming out from, the police headquarters in Abeokuta saying, no, there won't be rallies. And Ilana Omo Oodua International stood up to say, in a counter petition, to say, no, you can't say that. We have a right under the United Nations Charter to have rallies all over the world. So since we're being peaceful, we're not doing this out of hate. We're doing it because we believe it is the right of our people. Nobody can stop us from protect. Nobody can stop us from going for self-determination. So for anyone to assume that because something happened in the past, this is a new era. the Igbos and the Yorubas, believe it or not, we're on the same tandem as regards getting our self-determination, as regards getting our nation, and believe it or not, I think that is what, and that's where we're going to. So please don't get it mixed up. We are not betrayals. We do everything it takes at this time to ensure that our nation is realized. So I believe very much the media is very powerful. For somebody to come and say, "Oh no, I would rather go with Biafra because Biafra people." Yes, I know, fantastic job. I really love it. I know all the steps and the Igbo people have taken. I support it. I believe in it very much. Yes, we might be slow in some areas, but yes, we're getting it. Right now, we have the mechanism of trying to get to crowd our funds. Yes, you've gone ahead of us based on that. We've been having issues with that. They raise money through GoFundMe. It's difficult to pull out the money and all that. But we're taking steps to ensure that all these things are done. We have a world-class account in the US right now with JP Morgan Chase. So let me tell you, if you think Yoruba people are people you can just rubbish in this new era, no, you're out for a roadshow. The realization of Yoruba nation is something no one can stop at this point. And I assure you that we are in tandem with the Igbos, and we say it is Yoruba nation, it is Biafra, because self-determination is the right of the people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We know that I really appreciate you, and that's why when you called, I made sure I sent you a private message. I sent you a link, making sure you come to this program and make this clarification. I haven't had you. I would like to, because it is not every day I have this kind of, people like you on my program. So I would like to, throw, just a few questions for more clarification and all that. So you have mentioned about being, of course, we trust, we that in front line of this agitation, we know we trust the new generation of Yoruba. We can trust, and that's why we are doing this. That's why when we see something is a little bit lacking, or maybe the enthusiasm is like a little bit slowing down, we have to come and ginger them up again, because we know it is not easy.
Oh, we appreciate it so much.
Yes. We know what we went through. We know what we went through to come to to be where we are today, and we know that it is not easy. We know that when you people started, you're going to fight a lot of obstacles and all that, and that obstacle is what is happening now. So we are aware of this. We are not saying that we can't trust you or that. What we are saying is that if we notice that there is a kind of a little bit slowing down of this this agitation because of some people comment, or like this Adebanja and all that, we need to come and address it. For example, you said something that you mentioned a lot of things. You said that you people have been in UNTO, this UN, you have been recognized and all that. So if can you tell us what kind of self-determination are you looking for? What can you just tell us what kind of self-determination? From your own, I'm not saying you should not speak in the on behalf of the whole Yorubas, but from
my point of view.
Yes, can you tell us what do you mean by self-determination? Thank you.
Yeah, based on the information I have, and with all our leaders, from Professor Banji Akitoye, George Akinola, which is our secretary, and my diaspora international leader, Shola Salako, I am telling you that the kind of self-determination we want for the Yoruba people is total. We're not in part. We're not trying to say, oh well, if the Nigerian government says this. If the Nigerian government at this point does not realize that we want to opt out, we're trying to use as much as possible a peaceful means. And that is why you see that we're trying to make it one step at a time, one step at a time. But it's not as if tomorrow they come in and they say, no, you will not do this, our people will stand up and resist it. I can assure you, and I repeat it again, if the people out there in Nigeria think the Yoruba people are people they can just cow and just run over, they will be out for a road shock.
Thank you. You know why I asked that question. Why I asked that question is because there are people may understand self-determination to mean restructuring.
No, not at all. They're not the same. They're not the same at all.
Because the definition of self-determination is that you have the right to decide on your political leadership. You make decision on your own and all that. And when you look at that definition, somehow in the restructured Nigeria, if you go back to the regional government before 1960 or so, you are talking about, say, it's about almost a self-determination. If you define that regionalism, it's almost self-determination. It's like people have the right to make decisions on their the political affairs and all that. So if you look at it, we need to know. That's why I asked the question: what do you understand by that self-determination? Okay. Is it a complete freedom from Nigeria that you are not going to share this passport, or you are looking for the right to decide on your political affairs, like you had in the regional system in those days?
I mean, this one we're talking about at this time is that we want to opt out. We want to have our own, we want to manage our economy, we want to manage our people, we want to have a passport. If that's what you're saying. That's why I say it's total. When I say total, I mean we want to be independent of whatever is called Nigeria. And, it's very clear that at this point, Nigeria, anyone that believes Nigerian government will restructure on whatever terms is deceiving itself. Even if they're going to put restructuring on your table, they are going to make it, almost impossible for you to even imagine that you're accepting anything called restructuring. Because when you say you want to restructure and you now say, okay, you give them 20%, then over 35 years, then that's how you can get at least 50% of what actually belongs to you, your natural endowment. Nobody will go for that. So definitely, this is not in any way on our table. We are the majority of the Yoruba people, majority, when I say majority, I mean the majority of the people, home and abroad, want total self-determination. We want to have our nation, so we can manage our people and our resources 100%.
So in other words, Professor Adebanjo, is not
speaking. It's one person. And he has said over time that, look, this is what we want as Afenifere. I have to make it that clear. Afenifere is a subgroup of, is a decision group, yes, of the Yoruba people, but they are just a group. If somebody from Afenifere says, oh, this is what we want, A and B, and the entire Yoruba people say we want A to Z, who is Afenifere to say no, they're not going to, support what we believe in?
Yeah, would you disagree when he say you don't want secession?
Yeah, because there is, it's Pa Adebanjo is a lawyer, and I think he's mixing up the word secession and self-determination. Secession is that you want to, break up and cause war and do this, but that's not what we're talking about. We have said it, that this is about our people and our nation having autonomy of Nigeria. So if it's called, that is not secession, that's self-determination. We want to, as much as possible, say we want to cut off, from anything that has to do with Nigeria. Or if that's secession, then well, maybe that's what we want. Yeah. Thank you very much for clearing the air, for people to know that we are still on the same page. Oh, definitely, we are on the same page. Yes, definitely. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me on this program and always share your opinion with us. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Yeah.